If you Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom! Woo!
And this is show number 121. Welcome back, folks, to Row 60. We've got a big SEC matchup this week versus the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yes,
so this episode, we're going to be previewing Kentucky. Adam, how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready to roll. I'm in a good spot that I'm ready to fire it up for Georgia versus Kentucky. High noon Saturday night in Sanford Stadium, man. Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
We need it, man. It's been a tough week, kind of coping with this loss versus Alabama.
Yeah.
Adam, let me ask you, how have you been sort of coping with the loss?
How I cope with a Georgia loss, especially ones against Alabama and stuff. Ever since I was little, before podcasts and all this stuff was about, I wouldn't watch any Sports Center after the game for a few days. And nowadays, I do not listen to any like Josh Pate, Cover 3 podcast, SEC Final. I have not watched or listened to a single podcast or watched SEC Final or any SEC Network show, Sports Center, College Football Live, nothing since Saturday night.
Really?
And I won't.
I find that hard to believe. So you didn't even watch like college football final?
No,
wow.
I do not. If Georgia loses, I do not want to watch any college football media for a few days and just get away from it. So
that makes sense.
That's just how I do it. But some people want to see it. I don't want to see it. So instead, everything on YouTube, I've just been looking up like tool reviews. Tool reviews.
Something totally unrelated.
Something just unrelated to football right now. Kind of unplugging from it, and then obviously I'll ramp back up as we move on to the next week. You know. So, but when it's reviewing the previous week when Georgia loses, I shut it down. I don't
really. Okay.
Don't watch anything.
Fair enough. To each their own.
Just my thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the opposite of you. Now, I used to be that way. I didn't want to watch anything. I didn't want to see anything. I didn't want to hear anything. Nowadays, I kind of just like make myself, I kind of get over it. Like I kind of force myself to watch it and then get over it as quickly as I can. So kind of have a 24-hour rule where I'll soak in misery for a day. I'll even visit like the opposing team's Instagram page just to see.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I make it.
That's sick.
I make it eat at me.
That's sick.
Well, I know, yes, but it lingers a lot less when I do that throughout the week, the following week. So, I mean, that's just my way of dealing with it. But now here's what I've really started to do too. Like you said, you go to YouTube and you watch like DeWalt tool reviews. Yeah. You'll kind of get your mind off of football. So, Adam, this week, and there's going to be some people calling me crazy. You're probably going to be one of these people.
I cannot wait to hear this.
I'm big on just kind of hearing out conspiracy theories.
Okay. Yeah. I'm all right.
And I got to say, I stayed up till 3:00 Monday morning. So Sunday after we recorded our podcast, right? I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching 9/11 documentaries. Yeah. And more specifically, how it was quote unquote an inside job. Now, I am not devaluing the I guess the magnitude of that day and the lives lost. I'm not discrediting that. That was awful. That was sick. That was twisted. There's no doubt about it. But there are some very interesting theories on how those two towers came down. And I don't know. I've got very intrigued.
All right, then. Yeah. I definitely did not see, ramping up the Kentucky episode with 9/11 talk like this, but okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that'll definitely get the mind off of what happened in Athens on Saturday night. Right. When you get going down those rabbit holes, man. A lot of them to go down. But yeah, okay then.
Really quickly. All right. We're not to derail this too much, but have you ever heard of Building 7?
Building 7. No, I have not heard of Building 7. Yeah. I've heard of that people discussing that being a possibility and stuff, but I haven't just took a deep dive into it. Now, my wife, Kelsey, if you really want to talk about it, then she would be one to talk with.
No, I'm going to get you started on this too.
Okay.
I never knew about Buildings at 7. Building 7 was right beside the Twin Towers, fell several hours after the two Twin Towers fell, and it fell on its own. In the same kind of way. It wasn't hit by anything.
Right.
But it fell.
Well, I'll be dang.
So anyway, there's probably some people out there calling me crazy. And once again, a month ago, I would never have believed any of this stuff. But now that there's evidence, and I've seen it, and I'm starting to ask some questions myself. I don't know. It's interesting.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right,
let's get back on track.
Are we going to talk about football this episode, or are we going to go into?
Maybe somebody out there is with me on this. If you are, you got to comment. You got to send us a message. I'm just curious.
They're going to have comments now about not the game against Kentucky, but
9/11.
All right, then.
Anyway,
interesting.
So that's how I've gotten my mind off.
So you're watching conspiracy theories, and I'm watching cattle and DeWalt tool videos on YouTube. Then, but however, it's their own how they do it. But YouTube is a good resource to get your mind off of it. When do you have time? Just laying in bed before you go to sleep. Once you've got your job and work done and family time done and everything, you just have time to think. And some of that time you think, catch up on message boards and stuff about football, whatnot, and you're not really wanting to do that at the moment.
Yeah,
and that's when you go to. Which I read a bunch of Georgia message boards Saturday.
Oh boy,
a bunch of, like this whole week. Yeah, it's a toxic place, man.
It is.
It's a toxic place.
It really is.
God.
Speaking of YouTube, that's where we post a lot of our stuff. So if you're not already subscribed to us, go subscribe there.
Yeah.
And also, if you're not a patron, guys, you should definitely jump in. We've got some more stuff upcoming. We were going to release an Alabama vlog. Decided not to just because, I don't know, it just didn't feel right with the loss.
Yeah.
So what we're planning on doing, and we told our patrons this, is making a new vlog, even better, one in which we win. And so, I guess that kind of depends on whether or not we win the game, but thinking about maybe doing one for Texas or potentially on this. Oh, yeah, we're doing one for
Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte. Yeah, the 49ers. Potentially.
No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, Auburn would be a good one. We got to go to Opelika in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Starkville. Got to show the people what Starkville's like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you put in a lot of work for that. And I saw you, behind the phone with the camera out getting shots, man.
Yeah.
And I just hate that you put in all that work and after the loss, you just can't.
It's a gamble.
Can't pump it out. I understand.
Well, I did share some stuff with our patrons, some fun clips, specifically the Colby Young touchdown.
Yes.
A reaction. That was a lot of fun.
So
if you're not on Patreon yet, you guys should definitely join. And speaking of Patreon, I want to shout out Mr. Steve Jackson from St. Augustine, Florida. Man, it is so cool to see all these people, all these dog fans from other states jumping on board, kind of claiming their fandom for Georgia football and joining us on Patreon. So, Steve, man, we greatly appreciate it. Down in St. Augustine, have you ever been down there that far?
Nah.
It's not too far from where we stay at Amelia Island, I don't think.
Oh, is it?
I think it's like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, I've never been to St. Augustine. Heard good stuff about it.
Yeah.
Heard good stuff about about that area down there. So I'm sure it's a good time. I imagine it's a pretty area. So Steve, welcome aboard, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support and hopefully you signed up for a good time as far as how this season's going to end and the excitement that we're going to see here the last couple thirds of the season.
Yep. If you're not on Patreon yet and you want to unlock exclusive Row 60 content, just visit patreon.com/Row60, or you can download the Patreon app and search Row 60. Yes, Adam.
No, I'm going to mention this later in the show because this has nothing to do with anything. We just keep bouncing. But it has college football, but we got to talk about Dan Lannon later.
Okay. Jeez, yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay. But yes, Patreon, $5 a month. We reinvest every penny back into the program.
Yep.
The program with a U.
The program.
And we produce more content with that. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you, Steve Jackson. Greatly appreciate, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on here. Georgia, Kentucky. Let's start with a little history, if you will. Georgia leads the Kentucky series 64-12-2, or 64-12-2. So
that's good.
12 losses, 2 ties, and 64 wins. That's a lot of wins.
Yeah. I mean, it was it's been a just obviously dominant series against the Kentucky Wildcats, as it should be. With their history on the football field, and it's I don't know. There's a few losses that stick out to me though, Clark. In my time, 2006 in Lexington, that was bad. Georgia lost to Vanderbilt and Kentucky that year. 2009 at home. I think 2009 at home was the last night game Georgia lost to Sanford Stadium before Alabama.
If you don't consider Tennessee 16, which really that was a 3:30 kick.
Start.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about true like 7:30 kick.
I think you're right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Definitely at the Kirby area.
Wait, 10 we beat Tech at home though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a close one though, right? 45-42?
No. That was 45-42. That was 08 when we got beat
At home.
at home.
Yeah, that's right.
Stafford's
Yeah,
last.
that is right.
Yeah.
Dang, that is true though. Then I mean, I can't think of another night game in which we lost in Sanford.
Because in 11 we lost to South Carolina and Boise State in the regular season. 12 was in Columbia at night. 13 we lost to Missouri during the day.
Vandy during
At
the day.
Vandy. At Vandy. At Clemson at night. So
At Auburn.
at Auburn, yeah. 14 was at Carolina at 3:30. We're really gonna go through all this.
I guess so.
No, 14 was at Carolina at 3:30.
Yeah.
Florida, yeah. That's right.
We might as well just keep doing this.
Yeah, keep doing this.
15. Oh my gosh.
15 was Tennessee and Neyland.
Yeah, Florida and
Florida
Alabama at
and
home.
Alabama at home.
That was a nooner.
But that was a
Or 3:30.
3:30. Yeah, that was 3:30. So 16, we
Vandy
lost to
and-
Tech, and that was a nooner.
Yep.
Vandy was a nooner. Yeah, Vandy was a nooner that year. And then we lost to
Tennessee.
who else? Tennessee. Yeah, that was 3:30. So yeah, no, we already made it to the Kirby area. That is
That's right, yeah.
09 was the last 7:30 kickoff we lost to San Francisco.
That is crazy. Yeah, and was it not raining that night too?
It was cold.
It was cold.
freezing.
I feel
man.
like it rained a little bit.
It was awful.
Wow.
I'll never forget that game because my grandfather passed later that night, right after that game.
Yeah.
Terrible night all the way around. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's the game that sticks out. And also one I wasn't around for, but you hear a lot of older Georgia fans that will talk about this one. 1977, the Prince of England, I guess it was Prince Charles, I don't know, his royalty came to Athens to watch a football game.
Yeah.
And we laid an egg.
Not good.
I mean, I think, look up the 1977 Georgia-Kentucky game, Clark, real quick,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
1977.
1977 Georgia-Kentucky.
Okay.
I think I got my year right on here.
Oh, the headline here. 1977. Kentucky spanks Georgia.
I think they got shut out.
James Brown was there as well.
Yeah, Prince Charles and James Brown. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was
and Kentucky or Georgia was number 1? Oh, wait, sorry. Okay. No, never mind.
No, that's something. But that's just going back of what happened that day, man. So, yeah, Prince Charles from England came to celebrate his 30th birthday. And we got ran out of the stadium by Kentucky that day.
Wow. You guys need to go read this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you've never heard the history of that game, that's a good one to do your homework on this week. 1977, Georgia, Kentucky.
Interesting. Yeah.
Bad game.
Bad game, but mostly good for the Dogs, including the past 15 meetings. We have had listen to this. Our last 15 games, obviously, we've won. That is the second longest winning streak against any opponent in school history, trailing only 22 in a row against Mercer from 1892 to 1941. So, did you know that?
That's a great statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That comes courtesy of GeorgiaDogs.com.
I love it. I love it. Well, good. Well, good. No, that's good. It's been a great run since Stoops. Shoot, he started in 13. I remember in 14, we went up there and just put 60 on.
Yeah,
in
it was
Lexington.
awesome.
Isaiah McKenzie, I think, had a kickoff return actually, and a punt, or one of the two. I can't remember exactly. So just memorable ones that stick out. In 2018 in Lexington, man, when there was a top 10 matchup.
That was fun.
That was a good one. 08 up there, we barely won. Stafford had a who'd he hit in the back of the end zone?
It wasn't AJ Green, was it?
I don't know if it was
Or was it
Massaquoi.
Could have been Massaquoi.
Might have been. I don't remember. I
know
don't
what you're
remember, to be
talking
honest
about.
with you. But yeah. I mean, right at the end of the game, right there. Came back from behind, won there in the final minutes.
Was 12 not close to?
12 was a very close game.
Yeah.
We had to recover an onside kick, and it was a cold night up there. I remember that. 2016, we had Rodrigo hit a field goal
And
there at
then,
the end.
and then kept his helmet on for the post game.
Yes, that is right.
interview.
So, yes. So, yeah, a lot of close games up in Lexington, man. So, it just seems like we pull away from them more in Athens, of course, getting them at home. But Lexington, whew, I'm glad we're not playing there every other year.
I'm with you.
So.
Now, I will say that's one of the best road trips in the SEC. I love Lexington, the city. It reminds me a lot of Athens. It's a lot cleaner, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just feels homey and cozy up there. I really like it. If you've never been to Lexington, you need to go the next time Georgia and Kentucky play. But be warned, it could very well be a close game, as it sometimes is up there. So
yeah, you could have some cardiac problems when you leave the stadium after.
Yeah, for real.
Heart might jump out of rhythm a couple times.
I'll never
Been
forget.
known to happen up there.
Yeah, I'll never forget. There's very few times that Adam Thornton kind of gets in not a scuffle, a verbal scuffle, if you will. There's very few times when that happens. I can think back to 2014 South Carolina, but
Yeah,
there's
that was
one
a bad one, too.
particular. Yeah, that was pretty bad. 2020 Kentucky was pretty funny. We were walking out of the stadium, and that was just a weird game.
Oh, it was a weird game. Man, that was a weird game.
We wore masks, sat in groups of 4, and
stadium was a third of the way full, if that.
yeah, it was the weirdest college football environment I've ever been in. Anyway, we're walking down the
I'd
ramp.
forgotten about this.
And I don't even know what was said. You remember? I just remember you yapping and chirping back at somebody. And I was like, let's go, Adam. Because normally that's me. Normally I'm the one with no class and just, running my mouth, especially when we walk out of Tennessee with a win.
I don't know what he said, but it's something that just struck a nerve in me when he was talking about Georgia. And this is, of course, Georgia football pre-national championship, too.
Right.
So the year before we win it, the COVID year, already just kind of upset with just how that whole year's going, how you feel like you're robbed of college football year, right?
Yeah.
I forgot he said something about Georgia not being any good or anything, and I was like, this is a Kentucky football fan telling me that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if, I hate to say it, an Alabama fan would say that because you
Yeah.
can't say anything
Right,
to them. But
right.
there ain't no way a Kentucky fan's going to say that. So, yeah, I do remember jawing. Yeah.
With the Kentucky fan.
Yeah. The 2014 encounter after South Carolina was just pure frustration. That was after the game. We didn't give Gurley the ball at the goal line. We lost up there. I guess that was the 10, 11, 12. That was 3 out of 4 years we lost to South Carolina. And that was the third loss out of the 4 years. And
Yeah.
just frustration.
Now, I will
overload.
say,
that was awful.
We all
That was
defend, listen, we defend Mike Bobo vehemently on this podcast. We've made that
Yeah.
well known.
Yeah.
But I will say,
That's the worst way.
I will say, I was very critical, and I will stand on this, of that 3-play series drive, whatever, sequence right there at the goal line. I mean, you don't give it to your running back, Todd Gurley, who's the best in the nation at that point, but whatever.
If you weren't around for that time, just YouTube, I'm sure some South Carolina page has it on there, one of their historic wins. Go back and look, 2014, Georgia, South Carolina. Todd Gurley also had probably one of the most impressive runs I've ever seen of a
Yes.
Georgia running back. One, like, if one just stands out a run, and especially one that you don't win the game, it's not like Sony Michel's overtime run that's just in Georgia lore, but just straight up, this guy is something special.
Yep.
And you don't see guys toting the football like him every single day, Clark. I know we're kind of going off the rails here, but that exactly what run I'm talking about.
It's like third and 21.
When he cuts it back the opposite field.
It's crazy.
And how many yards behind the line of scrimmage do you think he was when he cut? Already
Probably
third and 20.
Right.
But how many yards behind the line of scrimmage he was when he went the opposite
And
direction?
he really wasn't that fast either.
But
We're getting way off the rails.
it was insane though, man.
Freaking Dylan Thompson. Golly. There was one more encounter right quick. I just got to break this up. Since we're talking about this, and there's not a whole lot to say about Kentucky anyway, so I just want to talk about this really briefly.
Okay.
Georgia, Tennessee, 2013. We Marshall Morgan hits a game-winning field goal. I mean, I think back to all of the most stressful games, and there's been a lot of stressful games for you and I, Adam. A lot of them. I think 2013 Tennessee might have been the most stressful out of all of them.
Yeah.
At least up to that point for me.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. So we hit the game winner, Marshall Morgan. The place just goes silent. And
let me just say this. We lost a heartbreaker to Clemson, but we won 2 emotional games against South Carolina and then LSU the week.
Right.
So
we're number 6 in the nation. Yeah. We're feeling
Aaron
it.
Murray's senior year.
Yes, we are feeling it up to this point. This is before everything derails.
This is before Vanderbilt, Missouri the following week.
Yeah. Anyway, Adam says we're a team of destiny up in the upper deck there after Marshall Morgan hits the field goal. patrons, you guys have seen that clip before. If not, I'll repost it. Anyway. Oh, yeah. It's great. Young Adam there. We're a team of destiny, not even knowing we're about to lose 5 games.
To Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and to Vanderbilt. Anyway, we're walking out of the stadium, going back to encounters and confrontations with people. This is where the Tennessee hate for me really started. They were just yapping and chirping about, the refs won y'all that game, yada, yada, yada. And normally that's not something that ever phases me or Adam, but in that moment, I don't know what it was. And you were in college. I was a junior in high school.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know. Something came over you. You started chirping back at this guy. This was outside the stadium.
It was an older gentleman.
Yeah, it was an older gentleman, maybe 50s.
Yeah.
Would you say 40s,
I'd say
50s?
Yeah. Every bit of it. Yeah,
and so Adam chirps back at this guy, and they go back and forth for a second. And then Adam I think he realizes we won the game still. It doesn't matter what this guy thinks. And he just is almost like, Adam, there was a demon that was exercised out of you.
A big adrenaline rush.
Yes, a huge adrenaline rush. And just darts, just sprints 30 yards down this parking lot, just screaming. And I'm like, well, okay then. So I just take off after you, just thinking, let's go. We won the game. It doesn't matter what these Tennessee fans think. I wish. I know this story that doesn't do any justice, but gosh, I wish we would have had a camera on you.
That is true. I really don't know. I really don't know what came over me.
Oh, it was awesome though.
Oh yeah,
I'll never forget that. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was a big win for us though. Sure enough.
A lot of exciting times coming out of Neyland Stadium.
Oh yeah, or any stadium, any away stadium where you win. Man.
I did proclaim after we beat them 41-0, let's all go do some cocaine afterwards loudly. And I'll never forget this man looking behind me, looking at me like thinking I was serious. Yeah. And I didn't say I was kidding or anything.
Right. Your mom,
My mom did. She said,
who was walking behind us, turned to this guy, said, "Sir, he's not being serious." And those fans walking out of that stadium that day in 2017, those Tennessee fans were dejected. Yeah. I mean, just embarrassed because we spanked them 41-0 in Neyland. So
that's the beauty of college football, man. Is you get all the feelings and emotions against different teams.
That's true.
You get to feel on top of a mountaintop, and then some you get knocked down pretty quickly. So that was a good little trip down memory lane right there.
Oh yeah, we could do that for hours. Yep. We need to do a bonus episode for the patrons and just talk about all the good memories we've had like that because there are a lot of them. Anyway, it's homecoming this week. Georgia, Kentucky going back to this game.
Yep.
Homecoming. We get Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, and Katie George on the call. How do you think, or what do you like? Do you like Joe Tess?
I love how enthusiastic he gets about a 2-yard scamper.
You think it's a little too much sometimes?
No, Joe Tessitore being too much. No.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, he gets do it. You got to have a good Tess impersonation, Clark. You got to.
I don't think I do. He does have a big personality, and that's normally who I can impersonate the best, but I don't have it.
You mean you can do Gus Johnson, but you can't do Joe Tessitore?
No, I really can't do either of them. I can do Desmond Howard. Man, we do need Desmond. Desmond would be a great play-by-play.
Yeah, he would.
I think, actually.
You think so?
He would be fun to listen to, honestly. I love some Desmond Howard. Anyway, Georgia and Kentucky, hey, they first met on the gridiron in 1939.
Good.
But Kentucky won that 13-6 in a barn burner in Louisville. So not even Lexington.
Okay. Good.
Yep. In the Kirby Smart era, this is another little fun fact, not an official Clark's Fun Facts segment here, but in the Kirby Smart era, the Bulldogs are 16-3 after a loss. And they have never, under Kirby Smart, lost back-to-back games in the regular season since 2016 when it happened twice. That's right. Yeah.
That is right.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
Good.
Fun stuff.
Good. That
bodes pretty well for us. I don't think we're going to lose to Kentucky this week, but hey, you never can take.
So the other one would have been 18, right?
Yes, but
that would have been the SEC championship and the Sugar Bowl,
right?
Correct?
Yeah, so not regular season.
The 16 was happened twice in the regular season, and then the third pair of losses back to back would have been the 18 SEC championship, then the Sugar Bowl,
right? But those not being in the regular season,
right.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Mark Stoops is 0-12, never beaten the Dawgs.
Oh,
and Georgia. Mark Stoops is 0-12 versus Georgia and 0-9 against Kirby, so he's never beaten Georgia and obviously never beaten Kirby either. This year they come in with 2 wins against Toledo and Eastern Michigan, 2 losses against Ole Miss and South Carolina. The Ole Miss game was pretty interesting, actually. That game was in Lexington, but last week they went to South Carolina on the road. And, Beamer ball came alive. They got a lot of points on turnovers. Yeah. South Carolina kind of bludgeoned them, 35-13.
Beamer has a personal just grudge against Mark Stoops. Like, if he gets a chance to put it on Mark Stoops, Beamer's going to – yeah, I think Shane beat him one time and put on some sunglasses in the locker room and did a little hip-hop dance.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Mark had a comment about it, and since then he Mark's been on Shane's list. So, a list you probably don't want to be on, right? No. If we're being truthful about the matter. So, So ever since then, kind of a big rivalry between those two.
Right. You know what I just noticed, Adam? We have big game Eminem up here.
Take the big game Eminem.
Yeah.
Take the We forgot to. Yeah. Look, that's going to hurt the prestige of the Eminem.
Right. I'm going to put my croc up here. Big game croc. Or not so big game croc. I don't know why there's a croc on our set right now. This episode is already off the rails.
What did you do?
I don't know. I was trying to find something else to kind of fill the space right there.
Right there. Yeah.
And we're going to go with, actually, maybe this is a not so big game croc.
All right.
So anytime we don't have that big of a game.
If you want to put that thing on there, that's interesting. But all right.
Smells like feet up here. Anyway, this is the weirdest episode I think we've ever done so far. 30 minutes in.
Well, let's just get it turned back around.
Yeah. All right. Let's start though with the actual X's and O's.
There we go.
All right. Let's talk about Georgia's offense here versus Kentucky's defense. Adam, I've watched a little film. I don't have the all 22 tape like I wish I could have. I've got to rely on the YouTube highlights from some of these games, but I have watched Kentucky this year, and I can confidently say we should be able to run the ball pretty effectively on this defense. In years past, especially under Mark Stoops, they have a really physical defensive line, and I'm sure that's still the case, but I don't think they have as big of guys on the line who are really going to be able to slow down this Georgia rushing attack that we've seen come alive here in the past couple weeks. So yeah. Any thoughts on Georgia's offense?
Yeah, I think this is something that you want to see them pick up where they did last week in some very good aspects of being able to run the football. I think Chauncey Bowens had one of the most impressive performances I've seen of a Georgia running back in a few years last week against Alabama, in my opinion. So seeing him continue to piggyback off of that and kind of, I guess, solidify himself in that RB1 role, I feel like he should be. But also I want to see Nate Frazier still touch the football, man, because, we're going to need him too as well down the stretch. So I just run the ball. Be able to run the football and keep establishing the run as the season progresses, man. And just the offense being able to put up 30-plus would be great, I feel like. And just – and be balanced, distribute the ball through the air to Colby Young, to Zachariah Branch, and those guys, and just really just be productive and clean in the offensive football game. And I feel like you said, Clark, this Kentucky defense, man, isn't what it has been circa 2018 to 21-22 or so, right? I know last year in Lexington we laid an egg in a sense offensively, I feel like. But I think this team's definitely just not what Mark Stoops had rolling in his prime there. And Kirby Smart's got a lot of respect for Mark Stoops, man. So I'll just go ahead and just say it right at the beginning. I don't see Georgia just wanting to just take out their frustration in Kentucky in the sense of being able, if they're capable of doing it, running up the score like a 45-3 type game.
You're right. Yeah,
he's not going to do that, Stoops.
True. And, just the style of this game, it is always very physical. And really, there's never just been a huge blowout kind of a game when Kirby's coached against Mark Stoops. I can't think of one.
Oh, yeah. Usually, I'll say I'm just off the dome.
Wait a minute. 23 was a blowout. What are we talking about?
23 was a blowout. Yeah. But I'm talking about when Kentucky was in their prime, kind of being in that top 15, top 10. Georgia would beat them 31-17 or something like that. I know, I think in 21 it was something like that, and then in 18 in Lexington, those were I think the two highest ranked matchups Georgia and Kentucky had against each other in kind of the recent years were about a 14-point difference.
Yeah. That is true. I mean, I guess when I say blowout, I don't mean like you were saying 42-3 kind of thing. You're not really going to see that with Georgia Kentucky that much.
It was an offensive just clinic 2 years ago. The last time Kentucky came here, Bobo and staff.
I was about to say
offensive showcase.
I was about to say that Todd Monken was not there.
No, that has nothing to do right now. Obviously, everybody's on it, but still, it's good to talk about.
True. Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, this is not the same Mark Stoops Kentucky team defensively. I don't think, at least just from what I've seen, they are currently 103rd in FBS in total defense, allowing right at 400 yards per game. So not really good, especially given the competition they played. Yes, they did play Ole Miss at home, which is definitely a top tier team. But going to Carolina just did not look great. They played, who did they play again? Toledo at home, and they played Eastern Michigan at home. So I don't know. I mean, I think teams have been able to move the ball on them so far, and I just expect Georgia to be able to get theirs on the ground and through the air, really however they want to do it this week. So
yeah. I agree, man. I kind of think right now that I'm sorry, I was looking up something. Yeah, he is the head coach of the Jaguars. I mean, Kentucky. I feel bad for Mark Stoops, Clark. You want to know why I do?
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, he took over a horrendous Kentucky program in like 2013.
Right.
And, I mean, they were at the bottom of the barrel. Rich Brooks had them built up. Joker Phillips came in, and it was just trash. It was terrible. Built them up where around 2018, they have a very physical, built the team from the inside out. Right, a very physical line of scrimmage. The big blue wall, the offensive line, man, was really playing physical SEC football, popping some teams. I mean, they would beat Florida consistently and really just in the hunt in the East a little bit there until just couldn't get over the Georgia hump, right? So won a lot of games they weren't supposed to and really had some good bowl wins under Stoops and everything. And then the NIL comes along. Mm-hmm. And I think they did always rely on a transfer portal quarterback. You think of Will Levis. You think of Terry Wilson. Vandergriff last year was a whiff for them. And this year, I think they had another whiff in Calzada. But NIL's destroyed Mark Stoops, man, just like it has several other coaches. But for Stoops' reason, I mean, he's in Kentucky. Where do you think the NIL money in Kentucky's going?
I don't know, maybe like softball,
tennis,
equestrian.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, equestrian, badminton, whatever. I don't even know if there's a badminton team, but no, of course it's basketball. So, I mean, and he's been just straight up told that by the AD. I mean, they're second fiddle. I mean, and you're second fiddle, obviously when you take the job, but when it's gotten to the point of this where NIL money's allocated and all the SEC schools are going to be putting football in front, it's just a bad spot he's in, man. And I just feel like he hadn't been the same there since that. But also, if you remember when we were at Georgia Tech and Bobby Dodd Stadium in 2023, we got a report that after Jimbo Fisher was fired by Texas A&M, that they were going to hire Mark Stoops, and it was official.
Yeah.
And then A&M fans didn't like that, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. He was staying at Kentucky. Ever since that A&M rumor with Stoops came in, Thanksgiving weekend of 2023, something's just felt off with Stoops in Kentucky, man. So I think this is my roundabout way of saying that this is his last ride with Kentucky, I feel like. So this is kind of our last Kirby Smart, Mark Stoops at Kentucky game I think we will see. Maybe not, but I'm going to call my shot on
So
that.
you think it's his farewell tour?
I think this is his farewell tour.
Yeah, and I mean,
He's a great coach.
I really do. I think so too. I really do. And he'll get a job somewhere for sure. I mean, he kind of he's kind of whiny to me, but like in terms of just a coach, and I mean, I respect the guy. There's nothing he's really done or said that's been just outrageous or stupid. He's kind of cringy, but other than that, I do like Mark Stoops, and I think he's a good coach. And I don't know how much better you can get up in Kentucky than Mark Stoops. Given what you said, when all the attention, all the resources are flowing into basketball, and like you said, football is playing second fiddle. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, they want John Summerall, the Tulane coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he played at Kentucky, right?
Okay.
He was an assistant coach at Kentucky. So I mean, that's what they've had their eye on him for a couple of years, and that's what
I do think they need a fresh start. It's kind of, I would say, it's probably similar to a Mark Richt situation here at Georgia, where you kind of just hit your limit. You've had some 10-win seasons, 11-win seasons here and there at Kentucky, but just not good enough, not getting to Atlanta, not getting to the playoff or even close to the playoff for that matter.
Yeah. I think Stoops got the Kentucky program to hit to Kentucky's ceiling.
Yes.
And then now NIL has just lowered what that ceiling could be a whole lot more, And then I think, of course, obviously with Rick, it was great, but we hadn't reached the ceiling yet with him. But but like you said, just kind of it was just time. It was time for a change, and I think that's what's going on right now in Kentucky. Is we will see him leave, but I mean he had good off. He had Liam Cohen as head coach of the Jaguars. For an offense coordinator for 2 different stints up there. Right. So I don't know, man. So I respect him. He plays the same type of brand of football that Kirby Smart plays at Georgia, just lesser talent, of course. But Kirby's always said one of the most physical games they play all year, when they leave the most banged up and hurt, is when Kentucky comes to town and they go to Lexington.
Yeah. Adam, I want to see us continue to pound the football this week between tackles. I want a healthy rotation of Chauncey and Frazier and Peanut. Yep. I didn't think Dwight Phillips Jr. got a lot of touches, and I'm sure that was probably somewhere in the game plan. They probably would have liked to have him out there a little bit more. But, I mean, the way that Chauncey Bowens was running the ball the other night, how could you leave him off the field? He did a great job. And I think we just keep feeding him this game, 240 yards, 41 attempts. That's 5.9 average per carry this season. He's had 3 touchdowns and a long of 43. This is something I think we might have mentioned last podcast, but even if we didn't, I know we've talked about this on the ride home from the game the other night. Adam and I have been just begging to see some explosive run plays.
Yeah, been a while.
Running plays of more than just, 10 yards, 15 yards. We've gotten these big chunk plays. You think about Dylan Bell as well. Was sort of the reverse the other night. He had a big carry. And, man, that gives you some hope. And that's one thing Kirby said in his presser on Monday was that he found out about his team that, yes, we can actually run the football this year. That's promising. And that stuff travels. When we go to Auburn, not this week, obviously, but next, that's going to be something we got to have going. So I think, you carry the momentum into Kentucky this week. Feed those guys, give them a bunch of carries, and that's how you win this game. So
I agree, 100%, man, and hopefully be able to get Frazier some touches, man, and get that confidence up. But I know it's kind of right now with him, you hate it, man. But I love how he loves the University of Georgia and hope that he can earn the trust of this coaching staff and shine a little bit. But right now it's Chauncey Bowens' running back room, I feel like. Yeah. And well deserved.
Right.
Well deserved. So very excited what we saw last week in the running game and the offensive line as well. So being able to just those young guys on the offensive line that we got continue to just get reps, get comfortable in their positions. Maybe I think we've got something, but I know we've highlighted a missed block from a freshman tackle the other week, but he's going to be something special and make a lot of key blocks in his time at the University of Georgia. And I mean, you have Glover and Gaston, man, and Hewley and those guys, and you find the right fit with them. I really think the season progresses, the offensive line. There won't be a lot of chatter about them. It's going to be my call. I can't believe I said that because I could get roasted for that as far as negative chatter.
Right.
If this core group gels and stays healthy.
Yeah. Coming into the season, that's what we were kind of hinging this entire season on, is how well our offensive line plays. And man, you really look at it, you really analyze it. Yeah, they've not played great at times, but overall, I think they've done a pretty good job with the cards they've been dealt.
Well, they're definitely not the position group that's the most concerning on either side of football.
Yeah,
right
I agree.
Now. I think people talking about Stacey Searles should kind of put that on the shelf right now.
Yeah,
compared to the other key issues that you see, that are a whole lot more kind of obvious, I think, right now. So yeah, I'm excited about to see this offense grow. Ready to see Gunnar Stockton, and of course we said run the football, but can't wait to see him be able to air it out, continue just to learn and get comfortable going through his progressions and reads as well. Yeah. And it'll be good maybe to see him distribute the ball some more, just put up some points, and just go up there and just have a clean offensive performance, Clark. That's what I want to see. Balanced attack, man. More so, though, heavy on the run game like we talked about. And I feel good about it. I think we'll see a good performance this week from the offense that really just gets you juice going into Opelika in 2 weeks. So.
Yeah. A few more notes here. I'd love to see Sokovie White specifically and Noah Thomas just get a little bit more involved this week. I know that's kind of up to them, and what they do in practice for sure, and the way that we want to use those guys. But I think Sokovi's kind of making he's making some more progression to really making a bigger impact on this team. And then, Noah Thomas, I think people are still asking, well, where is he? Yeah, we dropped a lot of money to get him in Athens. I don't know. I mean, he does a good job blocking for the most part from what I've seen so far. But in terms of targeting him, I don't know. I mean, you got a guy like Colby Young. Why not just use him? But
yeah, well, I think right now, man, we've gotten to the point where we're 4 games under your belt that Noah Thomas, I'm sure there'll be some times where he does contribute, but the Dawgs on this wide receiver group, it's Colby Young and Zachariah Branch, and they need to get the most touches. Right. And I mean, the rotation part of of course, getting London Humphreys and Dylan Bills and stuff. But as far as key guys who need to get you give your playmakers the football.
Yeah.
And
let me ask you this: since you just said that, there's been a lot of chatter on the most recent reel that we posted.
Oh yeah.
You think Cash Jones is a playmaker? Just tell it how it is. What do you think?
I really like what Cash Jones has been asked to do. I felt he's done his job good for what his role is on this team and has been. Mm-hmm. And I think going back to that one more time, man, is I think the tempo was right. Lane Kiffin. I had an interview with Lane Kiffin. Kurt Herbstreit and Joey Galloway interviewed Kiffin, and they said Kiffin liked the tempo, but not the pre-selective call that already know on third down if you get positive yardage what you're going to run fourth down because of, and I think we're quick to forget because it just started last year, helmet communication.
Yeah,
the quarterbacks like the NFL now where the OC can talk in the helmet, so he can call a play right after that, see the yards that they get. But man, I understand. I get why people want to have when you have Josh McCray, who's almost guaranteed to get a yard, and also now I didn't realize how close that spot was that he actually did get it. It was a first down. I watched that read. That makes you sick. That's neither here nor there. But when it comes down to it, man, I still stand on the fact that yes, even Cash Jones, if a block's executed, can get that first down, probably a touchdown. Yeah. And I hate to I'm not going to berate Gaston about it because that's a true freshman right tackle who's been injured since the beginning of the year, really getting his first significant minutes against Alabama. I think he's going to be special.
I don't know. Was it Glover there at right guard? I think it might have. I think Glover should have gotten that end, and then I don't know. The part of the problem was the guy blitz. That linebacker came in blitzing through the C gap. And I actually think Glover should have picked up the guy on the end.
Is that what the
then Gaston should have at least chipped the guy on the end and then worked to that linebacker. Yeah. I think that's how it should have played. I don't know. I'm not an offensive line guy, but that's to me what it looked like should have happened. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I just want to say Cash Jones is a playmaker. And if you're in the running back room, you're going to be asked to run the football. Like, that's no shock. Obviously, yes, we use Cash Jones on third down situations, and we're primarily throwing him the football. But you get that blocked right. You do the little things right up front. It doesn't matter if it's me, if it's you, Adam. It doesn't matter if it's my 86-year-old grandmother. They should be able to get a yard.
Inches.
Yeah.
But again,
Anyway.
You could really talk about it, and people make a lot of good points on kicking the field goal, and if it was a quarterback sneak or calling a timeout, letting them review it, and getting McCray in there or somebody. I don't know, but I feel like it could have very well, as much as people just think it was a stupid thing to do. If you go back and you look at the tape, you get one block and it's a touchdown, and you look like a genius thinking nobody in there. Because I would have assumed too, Alabama's probably thinking that it's going to be a little bubble screen to the left because you got trips left, right? And then they're cheating heavy to that side of the field. So I don't know, man. Like I said, we could talk about that, beat that dead horse. It is what it is now, and
time to move on.
I'm not going to be one of those that just think that's just so stupid. Because you could obviously just see it on film that just one block, and that's the game of football, and that's the beauty about the game of football. It can make you win. It can make you one play,
right,
and one assignment on that particular play can change the outcome of the game. That's why we love it. But anyway,
well. Yeah, we can't do anything about it now. Just got to move on. And let's move on here to Georgia's defense versus Kentucky's offense. Got some notes here. Kentucky is very one-dimensional, obviously. If you've not watched them this year, you wouldn't probably know that. But if you have watched them this year, God, it's pretty glaring glaringly obvious that they are just extremely one-dimensional. They rank 120th in FBS and passing offense. So right there at the very bottom, they do not throw the ball very well or effectively. They're averaging 159 yards through the air per game. So definitely not the same kind of passing attack as Alabama nor Tennessee. This is a step down from those teams, but they make up for it in their running game. Let's see. Where are those notes at? Oh, right here. Duh.
Oh, there you go.
Their game plan will obviously be to run the ball and shorten the game. They want to try to win some time of possession. I mean, that's the only way to win if you're Kentucky is you got to effectively run the football on Georgia's defense, and good luck on that. Their main back, though, is Seth McGowan. Number 3 is a New Mexico State transfer. He has 387 yards on the year, 5.7 average, 7 touchdowns. So this is really their main back, number 3, Seth McGowan. They have another guy, Dante Dowdle, I think.
Dowdle, yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, he's a bigger back, transfer from Nebraska. So they brought in a lot of pieces, especially offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, the quarterback, too, and Zach Calzada. I don't know if he's actually playing, though. We'll get to that in a second. But this Dante guy, number 2, transferred from Nebraska, 238 yards on the season, 4.9 yards per carry and a touchdown. So they can run the ball, or they have been able to run the ball pretty effectively. It's been their main source of offense. But, their quarterback is Cutter Boley. He's 6'5", freshman from Kentucky. The season, though, they start off with Zach Calzada, who's like 37 years old.
Yeah, he is about 40 now. About to be on Social Security in a few years.
Yeah.
That's right.
Y'all thought Stetson was old, man. Zach Calzada. I think he's been here since, 2019? I'm pretty sure that's when he started.
Man, it's so hard to keep track of all the Texas A&M freshmen starting quarterbacks that's transferred the last decade.
Yeah.
Especially you got Max Johnson, Connor Wigman, Calzada. Mm-hmm. He beat Alabama in 22. Calzada didn't he?
21, I think.
No, 22.
Or was it 22?
No.
I think it's 21.
It was 21. No, you're right, because it was 21 because I could have potentially not had COVID and was coming home from the Auburn game that year, and it was awful. Yeah. I felt awful. And then watch that. Yeah, that was 21. Correct. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Anyway, Cutter Boley, though, 6'5" freshman. I don't think he went to Willie B last week. It didn't really do well. Bless his heart. I mean, he got crushed a few times. South Carolina sacked him 6 times.
Dang.
So not real good there. Old Cutter, he is a statue in the pocket. I think he can throw it decently well, but I'm not super impressed. I think they have a big quarterback identity problem. They kind of have since, I don't know, 2015 probably, something like that.
Al Levis was solid.
That's true.
Top
yeah, that's true.
NFL draft
Aside from him, and maybe Terry Wilson.
Terry Wilson did get, yeah. And Steven Johnson before Terry Wilson was pretty good. Yeah, this is probably the worst that room's been. Well, last year. Who'd they have in 23? They had the kid from NC State, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his name.
It's declined a lot since Will Levis.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. They do have a few key targets here. Their leading receivers are tied in Willie Rodriguez, actually. So that's kind of their version of Brock Bowers.
Okay.
Willie Rodriguez equals Brock Bowers. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But no, he's getting the most targets, and he has the most yards on the season. They will target this guy. There's another Caddis, I think is his name, last name Caddis, tight end. They like to hit a lot. And then Kendrick Law, Bama transfer. He's starting to see the field more and get more touches. I think they're trying to get creative with him. So got to look out for those guys. But I think at the end of the day, we should be able to just pin our ears back and get to the quarterback this week. We ought to. South Carolina, like I said, had 6 sacks against these guys last week. So I've noticed if you allow Ty Simpson 3-4 seconds in the pocket, you're kind of screwed. Right. But if you allow Cutter Boley 3 to 4 seconds in the pocket, you're probably actually going to get home and affect him and bring him down more times than not. So that will be good for us. We've got to get some pressure. We've just got to get to the quarterback one of these games.
Right.
And that's something we haven't been super great at this year. So expect that to be the case. We be aggressive and GATA.
Everything that sets up about this Kentucky offense that's coming into Athens Saturday seems like it's the perfect recipe for Georgia getting a jump start, some confidence on this defense after the last couple outings, in the sense of being able to get after the quarterback, man, get some sacks under your belt, and be able to develop a pass rush in the sense of getting home with your quarterback hurries, right? So that leads to sacks and defense building some confidence in the secondary as well. No doubt they're going to stop the run. I would be very shocked if Kentucky runs the ball on this Georgia team, man, and then they really shouldn't move the ball, period, in the air as well. I mean, if they're season average and you have teams like Toledo and Eastern Michigan, 2 of the 4, and they've only average, what'd you say, like 159 passing yards per game?
Yeah. Then
if Georgia allows more than that, into 200, even 300, then that's scary, Clark.
Yeah.
Then I will start, but that's not going to happen, man. I really think this defense will have a good game to kind of be able to get some guys in. I'd like to see DeMello Jones work more at cornerback, Clark. I really like the stuff I saw out of him Saturday in a position at cornerback opposite of Dalen Everett that's still up for grabs. Just wait for somebody to take it and to shine there. So I hope we get to see DeMello work some there and see there. And I want to see some more Justin Williams, an inside linebacker too.
Yeah.
Kind of going forward in some areas. I mean, I love how some of the guys in that group play. All of them. It's a very talented room, of course. But I really think, seeing Justin Williams and how that defense looks, it just looks different with him and how he's developing, man. And then Chris Cole also, I think we need him in pass coverage on the inside as well, instead of lining up being a pass rusher from just – going off of what we saw last game.
Yeah. Definitely expect to see some 3rd and longs. They're probably going to run it a lot on 1st and 2nd down. That's when you can just, like I said, pin your ears back and go after the quarterback.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I want to see defensively is getting off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't care if it's 3rd and long. I don't care if it's 3rd and 2. I'd love to win some 3rd downs on defense.
Of course, again, beating a dead horse, but that's what's the difference in the football game last Saturday. And you can't have that going forward, or there's not going to be a fun Row 60 episode for many of them the rest of the year if you're not able to get off the field on 3rd down on defense. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this defense eat, man. This whole football team come out, get that bad taste out of our mouth, and pick up a big SEC win. 2-1 in the league.
Definitely want to see the secondary tighten up. This season, let's see. Yeah, this season – Georgia's rushing defense is 91.3 yards per game. That's for the offense, obviously, that they're facing. That's pretty good. Under 100 yards, I'd say it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, that's good.
Pass defense, though, 232 yards per game. Now, you got to also remember there have been some big plays hit against us, especially thinking back to that Tennessee game. So this number, I think, ought to come down in the season some. But, man, if it doesn't, if it stays at that 232 mark pass defense, that's not great.
It's hard to wrap your head around a Kirby Smart secondary allowing that, man.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of it's tough to see. Definitely some accountability, and that defensive coach staff has got to ramp it up, and we'll see. We'll see, and if it doesn't change, then there will definitely be some changes on that side of the football.
Yeah. Something I noticed last week that really kind of affected the game. We were doing a lot of man, press coverage, whatever, with our corners. Very rarely did I notice we just jam guys at the line of scrimmage. I didn't see that very often. I think back to that Ellis Robinson, play down there at the goal line. I think it might have been their first touchdown. Yeah, with Jeremy Bernard. Didn't even get his hands on him. Yeah. I mean, you can't do that. You got to get your hands and just bump them off the route a little bit.
Ellis Robinson didn't even touch him, man.
Yeah, and I'm not singling Ellis Robinson. I'm just saying across the board, we've got to be a little bit more physical in man coverage. When we're pressing a guy, there's a reason why you're face-to-face with him. It's not to catch him. It's not to just run with him. I mean, you got to bump. You got to hit him. You got to get your hands on him at least. Throw him off the route just a little bit. Affect the timing just a little bit. So hopefully we will be in man-to-man a lot this week. And I want to see that.
But to complement the secondary when you're in man coverage, Clark, and I think our secondary does good in man coverage, but if you're not getting to the quarterback and pressuring the quarterback, you will get just absolutely ate alive in man coverage.
True.
It's tough to do. And, of course, there was a lot of cover 2, cover 4 we saw Saturday night against Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it for Kentucky. Definitely not a team you want to let hang around by any means. They can certainly come in and beat us. I don't foresee that happening. This is one of
this rendition.
No, not this rendition. But you never know.
But it's still the SEC football game. In the NIL portal era of 2025, who knows what's going to happen?
Right. I mean, it's a noon kickoff. Georgia doesn't just historically come out and unless it's Georgia, Arkansas 21, doesn't come out just playing with their hair on fire either.
It'll be a hangover.
It'll be a hangover. At least for the fans.
Will too. Yeah, it'll be very quiet atmosphere, I feel like, Saturday.
Yeah, I'd like to think Kirby's going to have this team, back to its original state, but it's going to be tough.
Need a quick start on both sides of the football club.
Yeah,
I mean, just being able to let Kentucky get the ball. If you win the toss, of course, defer, go 3 and out, and then get the ball, march down the field, and get 7.
Yeah,
that's
the best way to start a game.
If you could jump up on this team, I would feel really good if you could just jump up like 21-0.
Right.
Right off the rip, man, and just get in sync. So it would be nice to see. It would be nice to see the defense be able to hold them to not 21 points or so, and going into the halftime where they, Glenn Schumann, Curtis Smart make great adjustments, but it's just so hard for that offense to dig themselves out of the hole that you create when you're in an SEC football game and you're down that much going into the half. You're giving up that much on defense, man. So I think this is, like I said again, I don't see Kentucky doing that. This is just a perfectly timed game in the schedule. I feel like at home after what happened last Saturday and in the way you lost as well. To work on some things, correct some things, build some confidence before you go on the road in the SEC again.
Yep, I like it.
So, real quick, can I say Bush Hampton is the offensive coordinator at Kentucky, Boise State OC, that revolving door of OCs. But why I wanted to say that, Eddie Gran is the special assistant to Mark Stoops. Do you remember Eddie Gran?
Oh, yeah. Everybody wanted him at Georgia.
You remember that?
Oh,
That's why I brought that up.
Yep.
He was supposed
everybody
to be,
wanted him.
But Kentucky stole him. He kept him. They pushed Kirby away.
I don't buy it for a second.
That's why I wanted to bring that up. Just to go back memory lane, that old Eddie Gran that we could have had calling the plays in Athens, man. He's back at Kentucky in a special advisory role.
Gosh, it's amazing. Yeah, I do not forget that. People just hell-bent on that guy coming to Athens.
Yeah.
I just tend to, once again, this is one of those situations I tend to trust the coaches and the people who actually know football. I'm going to side with them and their wisdom. So
that's right.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, folks, let's move on to some Week 6 games other than Georgia, Kentucky. We've got a few here.
All right.
I want to update everybody on the standings as well.
Okay.
Adam, you're starting to cut down my lead here.
You had a rough, I think, first couple weeks of the season.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So
you got a little too aggressive.
I did. Yeah. Coming back.
The official standings right now, the record is Clark 19-8. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Respectable, Clark. Respectable.
And then Adam, you're sitting at 16-11. So not too bad. You're coming back. You're only 3 games
not
down.
Bad. Yeah.
So you got you got a chance to kind of make it up here this week, assuming that we go differently on some of these games.
All right.
We'll see.
Let's see what we got.
All right, the first one we got number 9 Texas at Florida. At Florida, 3:30 ESPN. This would typically be your CBS bum game.
This would be a bum game.
Actually, I don't know. Vandy, Alabama might be the bum game.
Actually, yes, definitely. That's Herb Street and Fowler. That's the bum game. 3:30 ABC.
Anyway, Texas, Florida, in the swamp. Man, did you see that? Did you see that quote by Lagway this week?
No.
Oh, he said that Florida's offense is about to pop, and when it does pop, look out. That's what he said. Something like that.
Well, good. Good for him, seriously, in the sense that they're not giving up down there. You hate to see the kids give up, right? And, Lagway's been atrocious, man. You talk about somebody with the preseason hype just falling off a mountaintop. So,
Kate Klubnik.
Yeah. The quarterbacks all across, amazing. Just crazy. But anyway, if they were going to do it, then this would be the week for them to do it because they actually have a very respectable defense for the first time in a while in games with Florida right now, I believe. So if they get any offensive help, definitely could be a team that sneaks up and really and pops some people that they're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. And also, I think, Clark, that says a lot about Billy Napier, who's essentially everybody in the nation thinks is a dead man walking. If that team gets up for him and continues to play for him, that says a lot about the respect he has in that locker room.
Yeah.
You know, I know it hadn't worked out well for him down there, but for the team not to give up on him, and if it does turn around, it says a lot about what they think of their coach.
Yep.
So.
Texas is favored 6.5. Adam, who do you like?
I still give me Texas, Clark. I just can't not pick Texas, even though it's at Florida, because of how dominant of a defensive front Texas has and defense overall, and just how atrocious Florida's offenses look. Give me a low-scoring Texas win.
Okay. All right.
Pretty good defensive matchup.
Adam, I hate to do this. I want to wash my mouth out with soap after this one, but I'm going to actually take Florida. This is the one game of the season. There's actually two. If you go back and you watch that preseason episode.
Yeah, you did.
I definitely felt great about Clemson and Georgia Tech. Tech did upset Clemson. And this was another one I felt really good about. Florida, as bad as they have been. As bad as they've been, I think they somehow get it done over Texas.
Yeah.
I think Vegas kind of get that feeling a little bit. That's why it's not a Texas by 10 kind of a thing. The swamp factors into this as well. If DJ Lagway actually does kind of turn it on this week, I think they got a shot. You're right. Their defense is really good. Obviously, Texas is as well. And this will be a close game. But I think there's going to be some weird turnover or something weird's going to happen in this one.
Both coming off bye weeks too, right?
Yeah, I think so. And so give me Florida. I hate Florida with all my guts, but I think they're going to win it.
Yeah.
So
all right then.
That might be if Texas ends up winning it, you got another game on me right there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
You're just going to close the gap.
I like the boldness of that then, Clark.
Yeah.
It's going to be
stick to my guns.
It'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah. What I really need to do is put my money where my mouth is.
You should. Yeah. If you really believe that.
I'll have to call my official Row 60 bookie, Chris Johnson. Shout out to Chris Johnson. I don't know if he watches many of these, but he's a big Miami fan, loves us, Adam and I, and supports us in that way. But yeah, he lives down in Florida. I can just text him my parlay for the week.
There you go.
I might include Florida in on that.
There you go.
Anyway, next game, this is where College Game Day is going. Very interesting. Number 16, Vanderbilt. Kind of have to pause just for a second and do a double take at that. Number 16, Vanderbilt at number 10, Alabama. This is a 3:30 ABC game. 10.5-point favorites Alabama is in this one. Adam, what are your thoughts?
Man, I guess game day is going there instead of FSU Miami after FSU laid an egg against
Virginia.
Yeah, and then Alabama did. So, yeah, I mean, I never thought I would see College Game Day go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for Vanderbilt and Alabama. I guess this is actually the McDonough-McElroy game, and then Herb Street and Fowler will be in Tallahassee later that evening.
I think you're
so
right.
I see that's an ABC game. So, yeah, no, this game right here, I think Alabama wins it. I think their offense is going to be too much for Vanderbilt, but I expect Diego Pavia to put up some points in Bryant-Denny. I don't know if it'll be as high scoring as what we saw in Nashville. What Vanderbilt beat them 45-35 last year, something like that.
40-35. So
something like that. But no, I think it'll be another game where Vanderbilt gets theirs offensively, right? But I don't think they'll be able to outscore Alabama. I think Simpson, man, is just dialed in right now completely, and it'll be interesting to see how that happens, or what happens there as far as if Vanderbilt's defense can slow Alabama down, do what they did last year and force a couple turnovers, right? So against the Alabama offense this year, who's not turning over the football. But I think it's going to be tough to stop their offense, man. But I do think Vanderbilt will have some success on the offensive side of the football. So I think a pretty high scoring game in Tuscaloosa, but Alabama will win. I'm
right there with you. I think high scoring. Vanderbilt will get theirs. Diego Pavia he'll put some points up on the board. I think if they use his legs in this one, it could get interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Man, if Alabama has been awoken, let's be honest, since that Florida State loss, I think that was just the jolt they needed to wake up and to come to and to figure out who they are. I think this win over Georgia obviously has got them on a new trajectory for the season, and they're going to be a hard team to stop. I mean, just throughout the rest of the year, but they're definitely going to beat Vandy.
It's going to be very interesting to see how they play out, Clark, because I still think they're not like the Alabama of old in the sense that they can't run, obviously, but they can't run the football. It doesn't seem like, even with Jam Miller back, or they can't defend the run. So I think I can't wait to see if Alabama picks up from the momentum they got in Athens last week, runs the table, or just loses one more, or if DeBoer does what he did last year, just has a couple just inexcusable losses like you don't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be just another fun storyline to keep up in the league from here on out.
Next game, number 11, Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah.
At Houston. It's crazy. Texas Tech is ranked above Georgia. I think we were talking about this other night, at least in the AP poll.
Yeah.
The last time that would have happened would have probably been, what, 2008?
Yeah, 2008, after Georgia lost to Alabama. And who else did Georgia lose to that year? Georgia Tech. I want to say they lost another one. I can't remember. Oh, Florida, of course. Yeah, Florida. Yeah. They were 10-3. So, and then Texas Tech got beat. No, they beat Texas. I think they were top 2 in the nation there for a little bit. Maybe number 1, though, Michael Crabtree and Mike Leach back in the day. So, yeah.
Yeah. Texas Tech at Houston. I haven't watched Houston at all this season. 7
Connor
o'clock
Whitman.
ESPN. Is that who's Houston's quarterback is?
Yes. Old Texas A&M.
Okay.
QB. So.
Who do you like?
Give me the Red Raiders. Guns up. Guns up. Give me the Red Raiders. Texas Tech, man. I think they are now on a march to win the Big 12 and secure a playoff spot.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm going for, the Big 12.
All right.
That's what I hope wins the Big 12.
Yeah. Both of these teams are red and black. Does Houston wear Nike?
I don't know.
I think they wear. I know their basketball team wears Jordan, or at least I think they do. Texas Tech is Under Armour, right?
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm going to take Texas Tech too, I guess. Better shade of red.
Okay. Why don't you take Houston? Go ahead and take Houston.
No,
Make it interesting. You want
I already made my bold
it's
prediction
at home.
at Florida.
Look, Willie Fritz has them at home.
That's true. Could get interesting. I don't know about
In-state conference matchup now, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Watch Texas Tech just beat the brakes
Just
off
blitz
of them.
them. I hope they do.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stick with Texas Tech.
All right, good deal. Good deal.
And then last but not least, we got number 3 Miami at number 18 Florida State, 7:30 ABC prime time right here. Miami is favored by 4.5 points in this matchup currently. Man, this is home dogs.
Yeah.
Florida State. What do you think about this one? Doak Campbell.
This game could have been. I mean, it still will be. It still will be. But, man, can you imagine if Florida State would have just won in Charlottesville, Virginia last Friday night? This would have been a top 10 matchup for the first time. And I don't know how long since Florida State-Miami's been a top 10 matchup. But it would have been shades of the late 90s, early 2000s. And it didn't get that. But still, it's going to be a hype game, even with Florida State now at 18. I still think Miami and Miami's defensive line and veteran quarterback leadership with Carson Beck goes into Doak Campbell and comes out with a win.
Yeah, I thought I'd go different, but I'm sticking with Miami too. That's a safe play here. Definitely could see a way FSU wins. You got to get Castellanos going, and you got to play clean football. They did not play very cleanly against Virginia, but nonetheless, you're right. Carson Beck's too much. The Bain kid, number 4,
kid's insane.
He is unbelievable.
He's unreal, man. He's unreal.
Yeah, just a monster on that Miami defensive line.
I do feel like Miami's a complete football team in the sense of you got some just difference makers in that defensive front and a veteran quarterback. And when you get those two combinations, of course, along with other talented guys around the field and on their coaching staff, I think Shannon Dawson's a pretty good OC, man, and Mario Cristobal, you can't ever not just think about his ability to mess up an in-game decision and lose you a football game.
True.
So, yeah, you always got to factor that in, of course. But, yeah, I mean, watch Miami and the ACC. See what happens to them the rest of the year. Definitely a team I think will be in the playoffs at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we're both taking Miami there, and that pretty much, that wraps it up for this week's games.
Decent
not bad.
slate.
Not bad. We'll have some fun ones.
Man.
College football always surprises us. Just when you start to doubt a week, something magical happens. So.
Oh, it does. It does. A lot of good games. And I enjoy, this is the first noon kickoff Georgia's had. I can't remember the last time we've gotten into October, and this been the first time Georgia's had a noon kickoff, right? So
it's
it's the
been a
first
while.
one of the year. So I enjoy the noon kickoffs, Clark, on days like this where you get a win and you feel good about the win, but then you get to watch football the rest of the day.
Yes.
So Florida, Texas, Alabama, Vanderbilt, other games to talk about and watch, keep up with. And then you get the night slate, Miami, Florida State, come back, watch it, man. So it should be a good Saturday. I'm fired up about it, ready to get that just sour taste out of my mouth.
Me too. Well, hey, folks, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We do read those, and we do thank you guys who have left us reviews. It helps us grow this Georgia football community. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed. Go ahead and comment your score prediction for Georgia, Kentucky for this week's game. That would be awesome. And if you're coming to the game this weekend, this would be a great weekend to stop by row 60. We're at section 108. Come shake our hand. We'd love to meet you, talk with you, shoot the bull with you. And, it ought to be a great game this week. Hopefully the Dawgs are going to come out victorious. I think they will. Let's move to some score predictions right quick, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Yes, sir, man.
Adam, I think we rebound. No doubt about it. We got to rebound this week against a pretty bad Kentucky team. And not only that, we got to be dominant. There has to be some game this year in which we just dominate an SEC opponent. And I think this is the one. Give me the Dawgs 42-10.
I love it, man.
I know earlier we talked about you don't really see these 42-10 kind of games, but I think this is one of them.
This is one of them. A different Kentucky team rolling in here. And then also a Georgia team that really needs to do that, I feel like. And this is going to be like I said earlier, a game, a matchup I feel like would be just what the doctor ordered coming off of Alabama. And excited to see how this team reacts, how the leadership reacts, right? So, I mean, we talked about this. This is a resilient football team, even after a loss. And I think there's a good group of leaders, man, and more leaders will emerge after the loss. And I hope this team becomes hungrier. And I hope this coaching staff becomes hungrier after that loss. I mean, that's what you got to hope for. We talked about it last episode, man. Same position we were in last year. And you go and you lose one more game the rest of the year, go 10-2 and win the SEC championship, get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. So, needless to say, this season's far from over. The NIL portal area, so much parity in college football, man. The playoff area has made it that you could drop games in the regular season. We have to change our outlook on everything in college football now from the past couple of years. And that's why I want to remind people of that there's a lot of significant games, man. Huge football games left. Every week is going to be huge. And that's exciting for us fans that there's not just a week that's going to be bored. Every one of them is huge. So get behind this team. Get fired up about it because a lot of memorable games still left on the slate this season. And I can't wait to see what happens, Clark. But this week's going to be a fun one. Get to Athens if you can. Georgia's going to win this football game 34-13.
Nice.
Go Dogs,
Go Dogs.
baby.